today we finish season 1, which means we are doing a ton of simulating today, and we've got a lot to cover. We've got the trade deadline, we've got contract extensions, we've got the all-star teams, and we've got the box scores of the wins that we had as we are now all the way into April. So since we've got a lot to do today, let's just hop right into it. And here we have a blockbuster 3-team trade happening in the NBA. And it is Damian Lillard heading to the Miami Heat. This is a trade that I concocted myself. I'm not going to say I love this trade, but I really wanted to get Damian Lillard traded here, as he's the one star that we know in real life has a high likelihood of being moved in the semi-near future, as he is not content with his situation in Portland. And so I just came up with the best that I could concoct. I did have to turn off the Stepien rule to get the Blazers an extra pick. As you can see, they have the Heat's 27 and 28 first round pick. I wanted to get them, the 26 and 28, or the 28 and 30 is what in real life the Heat could trade, but you can't trade the 2030 pick. And so I wanted to give the Blazers the 2 firsts that they can get in real life from the Heat. And then the third team that will be taking Tyler Hero will be the Hornets. I read an article talking about how Charlotte might be that third team interested in taking Tyler Hero. And so they get a third first round unprotected from the Hornets in this deal. And apart from that, the Blazers get two really big expiring deals, about $60 million in expirings between Gordon Hayward and Kyle Lowry, and then 2 prospects from the Heat in Jaime Jaquez and Nikola Jovic. The Heat also get another forward in Terrence Davis, and that is the trade. So 3 firsts, 2 prospects, and 2 expirings to the Blazers: Dame Lillard, Terrence Davis, and Keon Johnson, who's just a really low potential prospect that we needed to make the numbers work, go to Miami. And then Tyler Hero to the Charlotte Hornets. And we have just officially passed the trade deadline, so we're going to take a look at all of the other trades that went down in the NBA this season. LeVert and Merrill were swapped for John Wall and Jayshawn Tate. A simple 1-for-1 Rubio and Carter here, about as simple as it gets. Powell and Jones traded for Isaiah Joe and Torrey Craig. Another 1-for-1 spot. We're seeing a few of those actually this season. Nurkic for Jakob Poeltl. I'd say, I don't know why you'd want Nurkic over Poeltl, but that's just me. Jalen Pickett was swapped for Simone Fontecchio. DFS, who we saw play, and Kemba were traded for McDermott and a second. This is the first time there's not a lot of picks being included in these trades at all. Bogdanovich for Nwora. Bradley Beal was traded to the Knicks. That's probably the biggest name I've seen the CPU trade in a while. Yes, Bradley Beal isn't as high overall as he has been in times past, but okay. Brunson. So the Suns decided they wanted a true point guard. A little bit more backcourt depth with Fournier. Conchar for Anthony Gill. Davion Mitchell to the Pistons alongside Sasha Vezenkov for Bagley and Livers. And then Tim Hardaway in a second for Clint Capella. So apart from the trade we made manually, only 2 seconds. Not a lot of pick swaps. Mostly players involved in trades done CPU and CPU this year. As for us, as you can see, we decided not to make any trades this year. Just going through it, I kind of like all 10 guys that are in our rotation, and I don't think the guys that are outside of our rotation are worth enough to really be involved in any sort of trade. And so decided to stay out of the trade market this season. But apart from our trade that we did biggest by far was Bradley Beal for Jalen Brunson. I don't think Knicks fans would be very happy with this one, if I'm being honest. And here we see the All-Star teams for the 2023-2024 season. Jokic and Embiid, the captains, the two centers that have been in the MVP conversation now for the last several years. Steph, Giannis, Dame, recently traded to the Heat, and KD are starting on Team Jokic with LeBron, Harden, Doncic, and Jimmy Butler starting for Team Embiid. In terms of the reserves, we have Booker, Morant, Trey, Zion, DeRozan, Middleton, and Bam, alongside Kawhi, Spida, Anthony Mitchell, Cat, SGA, Drew Holiday, and Nikola Vucevic. All right, are the reserves for this All-Star season. No All-Stars for us, although definitely wasn't planning on any. In terms of trying to extend contracts this year as well, there's only one player on the entire team eligible to be extended, and it's THT, and he has decided that he wants to test free agency, and so I think I'm definitely going to try to sign him back come off season. But yeah, no extensions for us in this first season either. The last game we saw here was this December 29th game against the San Antonio Spurs, simulating pretty much the entirety of the 2024 portion of the year. In this episode, I'm going to show you the box scores of the wins that we had, because as you can see here, there weren't that many, so it won't even take that long to go through all of them. But we would end up picking up a win in the first simulated game. Talen Horton-Tucker, playing against his former team, lead us in scoring here. Jayden Hardy would also put in 20 plus, hitting 5 3-pointers. We'd have to wait almost 3 weeks until we pick up our next win. Horton-Tucker led us again, 5 players in double figures here. And then February would be our next win, and it would be against the Warriors. Probably surprising that we won this. 30 points by Horton-Tucker. Not often do we see a 30-point game on our team. Hardy, once again, just the point guards, man. Point guards being number 1 and number 2 on the scoring list in games that we win seems to be a very, very common trend. Not this time around, though, with the win against the Pistons. Bruce Brown would lead us with 22 points on 10 shots. Very nicely done. 5 in double figures in this outing. And then the next win we would pick up, I don't think I missed any. I might have, though, but there weren't many to miss. It was definitely a team effort here. 7 players in double figures. THT, the lone man, up above 20 against LaMelo, Tyler Hero, and the Charlotte Hornets, a nearly 20-point victory. But now we face off against the Sonics. We played them in December the last time around, and they beat us on our home floor by 13 points. Jeremy Grant was the leader in this game. That was a team effort with 7 players in double figures. All of them shot at least 50% except for Grant here at the top. And so we're looking to split this season series against the Sonics. And one last thing before we hop into that is I just want to take a look here at where we sit in the NBA standings. And it's got to be, with all those L's that we saw, yeah, we have to be the worst. And it is by a wide margin. So number 1 lottery odds clinched. You know, we're tanking for Anthony. We're tanking for Sidney Lowry. Hoping and praying, honestly, that we can get one of these 2 guys. But taking a look at where the Sonics are, they're 30 and 44. They're not even close to the bottom here. Obviously, they're not very good. If we take a look at the Western Conference, they've got to be out of the playoff race. Yeah, right? They're 13th. And 10th is 7 games ahead of them, so they're not going to make the play-in or anything. But they're certainly been a lot better than us. But Let's see if we can steal a win against them here on their home floor as we kick off the final month of the NBA season in April. Climate Pledge Arena will play host to the season finale as expansion teams face off to end year one. Let's get into this game. We will win the tip. Horton Tucker out here in isolation against Dinwiddie. He gets it inside, turnaround shot, drops in for him. We'll start off scoring the first bucket. Grant in the post, well defended by Jalen Johnson, forcing the miss. We're going the other way, and Zaire Williams gonna get the shooting foul. He'll buy himself a pair of free throws here. Dinwiddie finds a wide open Jeremy Grant from the corner, splashes it home for three, and we're tied up 3 apiece 1 minute into this game. Sonics with it yet again. Dinwiddie getting inside, banks the layup home. Horton Tucker, time winding down, forced to come up with something himself. He gets that tough shot to go from the mid-range. Caldwell Pope, deep three. He nails it right down the pipe. Tough shot to hit. Horton Tucker responds right back with a three of his own on the other end. Grant, well defended once again by Jalen Johnson. He's having a good start defensively. Caldwell Pope with it. He's just going to dish to Strus, who makes that shot in traffic. Zaire Williamson, he is good for 3. You'll notice that he is starting. We have an injury to Bruce Brown prior to this game, so it's going to be a lot of the young ones getting expanded roles in this game, and that's going to be even more so the case as Talen Horton Tucker goes down, clutching his shoulder. Probably means we've seen the last of him this season, and Jayden Hardy, the second-year pro, is going to be thrust into a bigger role in this game. He comes right onto the court and gets himself a quick assist to Goga Bitazde. That is almost a block by Zaire. Instead, gonna get Strus a couple of free throws here. He misses the second. After Hardy, he's pushing it, the action in transition, and draws himself a foul. I like that aggressive play from the second-year guard. Getting himself to the line and just pushing the tempo. That's kind of how I want this team to play. Even more so than we have this season. And looks like Hardy is willing to push that action for us as Caldwell Pope knocks us back up at 14 apiece. Off the dribble, Hardy has space for 3. He's come in from the injury of THT and really gotten himself involved in this game very quickly. Here running the pick and roll, finding Bitazde, and picks himself up another assist on that pick and roll play. Grant, oh my, just gets the space to get to the rim on that crossover. Beautiful move. Right back to him here. The next play for the Sonics, and he is raising the roof once again with that celebration. Monty Morris. That's some great defense there from Jayden Hardy to force the miss. Gets it to him the other way. He's stepping back beyond the line and firing the 3, hits it. Really nice quarter we're seeing here from Jayden Hardy. Strus from the mid-range hits the shots. Patrick Baldwin also playing for the injured Bruce Brown. Not a great pass at all there. In transition, we get the steal right back. Yuta with the nice play defensively. Hardy finds the wide open Baldwin in the corner, who hits his 3-pointer to give us back the lead. Caldwell Pope going inside as the first quarter is winding down. That's blocked. Nice play defensively, and then Patrick Baldwin with 10 seconds left. I don't know if I love that shot selection, but I do love the result. Sonics have time for one more shot, and it is going to go in for Jeremy Grant, and that is how we will end this opening period. And like what I saw, especially from Jayden Hardy, I'd say he was our best player there in the first quarter. Bassey will get the scoring going in the second on that pick and roll. That's a deep three from Monte Morris. It's no good. Bassey, though, with the rebound and the putback will tie this game up early in the second. And Moses Moody was wide open off that screen, but Hardy decided to wait to give it to him until he was covered, but it works out for us anyway as Moody gets the hoop through the contact. He's got an and one chance, which he would convert. Monte Morris wide open to McDaniels, who hits the three. Loose ball foul on Bassey afterwards. Speaking of Bassey, they're going to get him a shot here. He grabs his own miss and misses again, but gets the second offensive board. Took him 3 tries, but he ended up getting the basket. Bassey's definitely getting the best of Hartenstein here in this quarter. And the Sonics are coming out to a lead because of that mismatch, I'd say. And Hartenstein, though, with a little bit of payback there, got himself a couple of free throws on that pick and roll. Strus from the post gets fouled by Zaire. Don't know why we were fouling there, but Zaire on the other end. The Red Sea parted and he had a wide open lane for the two-hand slam. Plays so nice, of course. You gotta see it twice, and right back to him here, and another dunk, this time off the off-ball screen. So we're just down 2 here, but Charles Bassey, once again, dude. I don't know why. Hartenstein, the whole reason you're on the team is the rebound, and he's getting absolutely smoked by Bassey in this quarter. Good night. What is Hartenstein doing? And then, after it all, he ends up fouling Bassey, dude. Hartenstein's getting just absolutely outclassed by, what is Bassey? Like a 74 overall center? Good night. I mean, it's not like Hartenstein's a high overall either, but there's one thing to his game, and it's rebounding, and he can't do it worth crap in this game. Down by 8 after that Strus 3, he has another opportunity here. This one he misses. 0 points the last 2:27. As you can see, we finally get past that 40-point mark. Took us a minute, but Duncan Robinson trying to get 5 quick points, and he does that successfully. But then on the other end, we just leave Strus wide open, who's been really good for the Sonics in this game. Duncan Robinson trying to hit another one, and he will. He's basically our offense for this stretch of the second half of the second quarter for us. Nice block by Goga to force the shot clock violation. Now under 2 minutes left in the quarter, Patrick Baldwin hits for 3. He's had some nice touch on that long ball. Zaire Williams, that 3 is good as well. We have retaken this lead. 53 now to 50. And that will be the score as we go into halftime. We're down for the majority of that second quarter, but we came back at the end of it. Good defense there. Will get us running in transition, and we find Jalen Johnson, who slams it home. And I know that the game audio is a little bit delayed right now, delayed at some point late in the second quarter. I don't know what is causing that. I feel like I don't hear other people having this problem with OBS, but like every 5th recording or so, if I don't stop it after 30 minutes, I just get, my audio gets delayed out of nowhere, and I don't know what causes it. I'd obviously fix it if I knew, but I'm just gonna have to do additional research. I have looked it up to see what I can do to fix it, but haven't had a problem with it in a while, but it definitely came up in this recording, so I apologize. The game audio is going to be a bit delayed for the remainder of this game. Up by 5 here. Powell on the roll will get that one to go. 62 to 59 is the score. Strus left wide open for 3 way too often in this game, and it's back tied. Moody, there we go. That 3 is down the barrel. We retake the lead. Hardy, he's getting into the lane. gets the help defense and makes the correct read. Hardy was really good scoring in the first quarter. Hasn't done a ton of scoring since, but what I've really liked is his ability to distribute. That is something that when we drafted him in the expansion draft, I didn't really expect much of him in that area. I drafted him for his shot creation ability, but he's been good at setting his teammates up in this game when he's played with the starters. And maybe a glimpse into him maybe taking over that starting point guard role next season, because I think he's done it better than really we've seen from Taylor Horton-Tucker this season. Nice play by Moody there, and we are up 9, but Strus is just on fire in this game. He's just chucking up shots and they're going down. Goga, clean look, but not the best shooter for it, so he's off the mark. And Monty Morris just sprints down the other end and gets the layup. Good play by him, being aggressive. Baldwin, he's been hot this game and continues to be here, hitting that 3. 80-73 now the score. Powell makes that 80-75 there on the roll. Strus, quick and easy too. It's really been Strus and Jeremy Grant for this Sonics team for the most part, but Baldwin has been awesome in this game for us, of course. Hasn't played a ton this year. This is the only episode we've actually seen action from him because of this Bruce Brown injury, but maybe proving that he deserves to be part of the rotation next year with that slam. 85-79, and we hack Monty Morris on his way to the basket. So he's got himself a pair of free throws, and Dylan Brooks would miss that 3. But stop me if you've heard this before. We allow an offensive rebound to the Seattle Sonics. And then this one will result in a 3-pointer. Posting up Baldwin to end the third. Don't know if I love that play, so we'll take the 1-point lead. 1 quarter left here in this ball game. We've led after all 3 quarters. Now we just have to keep that lead for the most important quarter of the ball game. We'll post Baldwin up again to start the 4th. This time it does work out for us. Dylan Brooks trying to sauce up Baldwin. He does get into the lane and gets the and 1. Zaire to the lane. Dishes it to Hartenstein, who takes a minute to gather his thoughts, but then he does eventually pull up and hit the inside shot. Baldwin continues to stroke it from deep. And pause. He continues to be a really good 3-point shooter in this game, is what I should say here. And Hartenstein, nice finish on the roll as the Sound now lead by 5. 9 minutes left in the quarter, but Dylan Brooks shrinks that lead to 2 here with that corner 3. Nice find inside. Zaire Williams continues to be a really good offensive player for us in this game. It's really been Baldwin and Williams doing a big chunk of our scoring in tonight's action. Powell inside. That is a foul by Isaiah Hartenstein. Jeremy Grant with it. Trying to go inside on Hartenstein. Just absolutely sauced him up. Had him stumbling. And the Sonics now have the lead. Really, we're stuck at 96 for far too long there. Moses Moody finally breaks the top off the basket for us, but Seattle has gained the momentum. Hartenstein just gets us stripped. Dude, he has been awful here in the 4th. Getting picked on defense and now just getting stripped on the offensive side as well. Not been the best Hartenstein game. In fact, it's really been the worst. In fact, I think it's probably because we had Duran, a really good center in our last franchise. It's probably been the worst game by a starting center I've seen on this channel. And he just could not impact the game positively for us on really either end all throughout this game, but really hurt us here in the 4th. But this team remains battling as we're tied with 4 minutes left. Jeremy Grant draws the foul, though. Hits both of his free throws. Back with Seattle here. And Hartenstein, what are you doing? How do you leave Powell that wide open? Oh, Hartenstein. He's selling. This dude wants us to have the #1 overall pick. He's probably hoping we take Darren Anthony and he can get the heck out of Nashville. But we all know that if we have the #1 pick, that I prefer Sidney Lowry. But now with under 2 minutes left in this game, finally we see a positive play from Hartenstein in the fourth. Seen a lot of him, but it's been lowlights rather than highlights. Seattle lead back up to 9. Down to 90 seconds in this game. We really need to get things going on the offensive end, and instead Baldwin just throws it right to the Seattle team. Something he did a few times. He's certainly a good scorer, but that would ultimately be the end of this game. We were really good for 3 quarters. In fact, we were really good for about until the last 4 minutes of this game. It was tied, and then we just choked it away. Hartenstein was terrible in this game, and I think defensively we really struggled to guard Grant and Strus. And if those two were giving you problems, I don't know. You're just not a good defensive team, I guess. They combined for 58 in this game on 36 shots. Zaire Williams, 28 points on 19 shots. Baldwin, 24 on 14. He was really good. Moody, efficient as always. Not a big volume guy, but 13 on 8 shots. Hardy didn't shoot that well after the first quarter, but 8 assists to 0 turnovers. I would say that's probably the best passing game we've seen from anybody on the team in these 4 gameplay episodes we had in the first. And that was his really first time playing with the starters. I ended up simulating, of course, until the last game. I don't want to simulate the last game because I want to save the awards for next episode. But looking at the wins we had to end out the year, get 22 apiece from Moody and Williams on really good efficiency from both. And then Hardy would give us a 30-point game on 20 shots to lead us to a victory over the Bulls. And that would be the end of our winning in Season 1. Definitely going to be a team picking at the top of the draft next year. We will get to the draft in a couple of episodes, but next episode we'll be going through stats, awards, the playoffs, and the lottery. So it should be a fun episode. That one will be out soon, and I will see you then.